these kids love me. They don't really know who Nas is. If he's 22, he's born in 03.
Not all of them. Some of them know. But
you know what I mean?
A lot of them know.
Were you smoking when you said you better than Nas?
I might have been a little bit. Well, as far as let's get this right. I'm way more influential than Nas, and I don't care what nobody say. I know I made a little boo-boo when you talk about the sales and all this type. I feel like getting into that rhetoric about where I started and where he started.
Well, you said that
but listen, Nas was nice when I was in high school. When I was in 10th grade, Nas came out.
While we're on the hip hop side of things, Jim Jones once again is in my news cycle for being silly as usual, saying that he's a better rapper than Nas and he has just as many entries and stuff like that. Like
his hits is bigger than Nas. I'm just like, hey man, I f***ed you, Jim, but I ain't the same, bro. That's a legend.
As a rapper, I feel that you have to have the utmost confidence in yourself.
You
do. But anything you need to have realistic confidence as well.
Yeah, it's such a realistic.
You need to have some realism in what you're saying.
Stop being disrespectful.
And this is what it really is. You're being disrespectful now.
Yeah.
Because you started with Jadakiss and I'm sorry. Jim Jones started with Conway. Remember? Jim Jones wanted Conway to come get some work. Conway, whatever, Jim, you tripping. Then Jim Jones started with Pusha T, who supposedly supposed to get some bars on this Clip album. Pusha T supposed to give Jim Jones some bars. We'll see. Then Jim Jones went to Styles P. Then Jim Jones is now at Nas. The foolishness has to come to an end eventually.
I mean, again, when you are up that ladder, it's a numbers game now. So you just saying shit, doing shit, keep people to Google your name. You Google their name, they got brands.
He's trying like hell to stay relevant.
The algorithm.
He's trying his hardest to stay relevant.
Because now everybody's looking up Jim Jones and stuff like that.
Whatever brand that's attached to his ass, you might buy.
I'm giving Jim Jones that because you're using the algorithm. You got people so upset they're bringing up all this stuff, comparing you to Nas, knowing good and damn well that you aren't even in the same.
You can't even sniff his drawers.
Remember I said Pusha was a tier B+. Mm-hmm. Jim Jones is a C rapper.
Yeah, I'm being generous with the C.
Jim Jones is a C rapper.
What's the only one he got? Ballin'. What else?
Pop Champagne.
That's it.
Now he got a couple. Because I.
Is it 10? Can we put 10? Can we count 10?
I can't give you 10.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can't give me 10. Nigga, can we give him 5? Can we get 5?
Damn.
See?
Certified Gangsters with Game.
I'm not
Harlem.
I just can't think of them right now.
You say what?
I just can't think of them.
Right. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, if we gotta think on your shit, nigga, we supposed to run that shit down.
Jim Jones was talking noise about Nas back in the day. Remember, you gonna slap the Koofy off him and stuff like that. Remember all that stuff Jim Jones used to be talking about Nas and stuff like that. Like we ain't forget that either. Like, I remember all the stuff you used to say about Nas.
You're not in the stratosphere with, and like I said, being generous but saying C, he damn near borderline D.
Cause Nas is an A+.
How hard do you have to slap knock a Koofy off though?
Huh?
How hard do you have to slap a Koofy off?
You gotta slap.
You gotta put
that slap.
That's why I'm always. I'm like, Koofy be on.
You damn near knocking somebody's ass out with that.
Koofies be on time.
I know.
You gotta put your hands on somebody to get that.
Look, your whole hand is like this covering their face.
You remember when he said he was gonna slap the Koofy?
Yeah, and I've always wondered like how hard you actually have to
doing
hit for that Koofy.
Yeah, concuss. You smacking the shit out of.
But Jim, stop. Like, you're not. We told you who I thought you were. I thought like Tony Yayo, and I think Tony Yayo would take you in the verses.
Hell yeah.
To be honest.
Hell yeah.
Who else was that we were talking about? Nori would wash you in the verses.
Yeah, right.
And Nori's not even considered like top.
And he's not.
Nori would.
My super thug era.
Wash Jim Jones in the verses and stuff like that. Like, and these are guys that you don't really hold in high regard like that. I hold Nori a little higher because to me, Nori went from CNN dropping a classic to the first Nori album, which to me is a classic.
It is.
One of the only guys who did an album classic and a solo classic. Nori doesn't get the credit I think that he deserves as an artist. Nori was really that dude.
Yeah, he was.
Nas has
Even though it was short-lived.
Nas has 2 or 3 classic albums. Jim Jones had the summer of 2009.
How many summers Nas had?
Charles, I'd
How
say
many
Nas
summers?
got-
How many summers Nas had? I can go all the way back to 90. I can go all the way back what 90.
94
94?
shootouts when he was doing shootouts with Clue and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah.
Nature and Clue and stuff like that.
Nature and them and shit like that. Then we go. Man.
I'm gonna say Nas has. You say he has 3 classics. I'm gonna say he has maybe 4. King's Disease is dope.
Yeah, that's dope.
Jim Jones has 2.
He just didn't get the
popping
I
singles.
feel like he just didn't get the album didn't get the right pushing.
Yeah.
Because the King Disease, that is dope.
And he had a King's Disease trilogy.
Yeah, he
like
did.
Nas resurrected his career again. Jim Jones, he resurrected.
I wouldn't say he resurrected. I just say that he was able to.
No, I say Nas resurrected his career because to me it's kind of like he reached the peak again. You were at the peak.
Okay, all right. Well, since you
When
coming
you
like
drop
that,
when you drop Illmatic, that was the peak. Then you hit the peak again when you came back around with King's Disease.
hell shit, he dropped since after Illmatic too.
The argument I always get into with people when it comes to Nas is Illmatic and Stillmatic.
Stillmatic, you still.
Hold on, no. I'm sorry, I was wrong. Illmatic and It Was Written. Some
Was
people
Written.
say It Was Written is better than Illmatic, and I'm like,
Both of them classics.
they are.
Both of them. It Was Written. That's my shit. Summer
ahead,
'98,
Buddha.
dog. I was out. That's my shit.
You will
That's-
never catch the essence of Illmatic.
What?
You'll never catch that essence.
Are
of
you
Illmatic.
serious?
You'll never
That,
catch it.
Oh,
but
man,
see, that's how I feel about when. Remember when we were talking about Mobb Deep and we were like the infamous and Hell on
The
Earth.
essence of it, yo.
It's
It's just
the-
the
it's the
essence. It's
essence
the
of
time
the
in which
album.
it came out, when it
That's
came out,
right.
how it came
and
out.
you're right, and that's the reason why I'm saying It Was Written, because now mind you, I'm a Nas fan and I love all his albums.
For halftime,
But between,
nigga, oh my.
I mean, it was written. I mean,
through still to this
yo,
day,
sit back,
man.
relax, catch a contact, sipping cognac. Let's
Firm.
all watch the money
Yeah.
through this laundromat. Sneak attack. Come on, bro. Like, I mean,
What it is, see what Buddha's trying to say, and this is what I agree with him. It's the first time you're hearing
Bro,
it.
it's your first.
It's
I
like
feel
the
you.
first time you heard Illmatic, nothing was like it.
I feel you.
That was a
It
cultural
was written,
shift.
amazing album, but
And that was a
it
cultural.
nothing like
that was
Illmatic.
if I rule the world. Like,
No,
come on, bro.
no.
Like, what? I get what you're saying,
But that's just like what I say with the Infamous and Hell on Earth. It's like the Infamous was new. Now this is their second album, so I already kind of got an expectation of what I'm going to get from them. They just come through. Most of the time, artists don't come through with the expectations you have of them, and they just happen to duplicate it in a way. So I love Nas. Nas is my number 2. Nas my number 2. Jay's my number 1. Nas my number 2.
I got the other way around.
Face my 3. But music's subjective. I can't hate on anybody who pick any of those who are their number 1 at all.